In culinary school, one day I was joking around stirring this giant pot of just soup, and I tasted it. I'm like, needs more eye of newt. Because I'm weird and I do shit like that. The professor comes on over, sticks in a spoon and goes, why would it need mustard seed? Say what now? Eye of newt is mustard seed. Don't you know? I may be a creepy little gremlin, but I didn't know that eye of newt meant mustard seed. Yeah, eye of newt, toe of frog, wool of bat, tongue of dog, adder's fork, those are all things. Eye of newt is mustard seed, toe of frog is buttercups, wool of bat, that's holly leaves, tongue of dog, that's hound's tongue, adder's fork, that's an adder's tongue. Jeez, no wonder my spells don't work. Wait, say what now?
Decided Dave White, you get to be Blank, and that's the nice name they call you. Let me paint a picture of what's waiting for you on the shore. You arrive in America, land of opportunity, milk and honey, and guess what? You all get to be slaves, split up, sold off, and worked to death. The lucky ones get Sunday off to sleep and fuck and make more slaves and all for what? For cotton, indigo, for a fucking purple shirt. The only good news is the tobacco your grandkids are gonna farm for free is gonna give a shitload of these white motherfuckers cancer. And I ain't even started yet. 100 years later, you're fucked. 100 years after that, fucked. 100 years after you get free, you still getting fucked out of job and shot at by police. You see what I'm saying? This guy gets it. I like him. He's getting angry. Angry is good. Angry gets shit done. Yeah, he is telling you. You are staring down the barrel of 300 years of subjugation, racist bullshit, and heart disease. He is telling you. There is one goddamn reason you shouldn't go up there right now and slit the throats of every last one of these Dutch motherfuckers and set fire to this ship.
Now, Bomelega Boko, and Inilegawo.
You already dead, asshole. at least die a sacrifice for something worthwhile.
Welcome, 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 and thank you for joining me for Conversations with Taz for the Monday Mix-Up. Everything that's happened over the weekend and a little bit more. As always, I'm going to open the hour with the Shanquella Robinson case. Trigger warning for anyone that does not want to talk about faux friendships, murder, deception, etc. Usually I can give you all an exact time, but I'd say step away for about 15 minutes and then come back if you do not want these updates, but I'm going to give you the updates. As always, check the links that are in the description of this video for further context on anything that I talk about. And if you're not already following Camp Taz, the blog, you need to do that because it also gives additional information and additional resources to anything that I talk about on the show. So here we go.
Right, so yes, she did have a fight that y'all will see that's going viral. They were fighting because Quilla did some crazy shit while she was drunk. So he told her to, let's fight. I don't want to drag you out of the bed. Chloe didn't want to. And that's how that happened. Unfortunately, she did die because of on the bed. So y'all see something in the video, don't mean that happened. They're just trying to cover it up with a broken spine and whatever else they're saying. You were like, y'all. I was not fighting in the video. So the person that was fighting in the video is not up here, and she can only speak for herself. So until she gets up here, she can speak on her behalf. We're talking because we were there. There's multiple people there, not just the girl that was fighting. So I'm confused what's the question you're trying to ask. If me and my friend is going through something, we're gonna fight it out. So that's just that. Nobody's gonna jump in. And that's just what happened. After she fell, she was not dead. So what are you talking about?
Real quick, sister girl, you don't know. And how very juvenile of you. We're going to fight it out. Why did y'all have a problem with her? Seems like she was the number one stunner of the group. We'll come back to that later. Let's keep on.
An arrest warrant has been issued on November 23rd, 2022 in the femicide of Shanquella Robinson. Now, they did not name the suspect, and I'm assuming this is because they just wanted to try and keep anonymity in terms of making sure that the person didn't flee before they were able to apprehend them. But based on the description and the statement that the prosecutor made, it's very clear who they're talking about. So Daniel De La Rose Anaya, who is a prosecutor for the state of Baja California, Mexico, spoke to ABC News, amongst other outlets, and said that this case is fully clarified, that they even have a court order, that there is an arrest warrant issued for the crime of femicide to the detriment of the victim, and against an alleged perpetrator who is a friend of hers who is the direct aggressor. There has been an Interpol alert issued, and there is a request for extradition that they have made to the United States of America. He finished off his statement by adding that it is about two Americans, the victim and the culprit. To me, this felt like an extremely odd thing to say because it gives the impression as if this is the only person who they intend on charging or extraditing at this point or in the future. It's definitely not between two Americans. We do know that all of the other Cabo cowards were participants, whether they directly...
Sorry to keep breaking in. You know I normally just let all of the videos go through. But no, you need to understand how investigations go. They're not going to put all of their hens in a basket and wait for you to steal the basket or run away with the basket. That's not how it's going to go. The United States and Mexico have already talk to each other. The United States has already said that in this case, they will not fight extradition. Come on over and get who you need to get. Them saying, oh, this is between this person and this person. Once again, I've said multiple times on this channel, per the information that can be confirmed, that the FBI office in Charlotte, North Carolina is asking that you all send them every video. As they get the videos, it's obvious they're sharing information. So if you want everybody brought to justice, show everything, send everything over so everybody can be brought in. And stop showing how lax the United States educational system is right now. Y'all have many computers in your hand right now in the form of a smartphone. Come on. Y'all can look this stuff up. They're not going to put everything out to the public because they're still gathering information. And if they say, hey, we know all of y'all are guilty, whoever keeps leaking these videos and keeps leaking information, they need to get in contact with them also. They also need to build a case regarding everybody else. And from information that has been leaked, all of the women that were there fought this one woman. But let's carry on. I'll try not to interrupt while we play these last two videos.
I'm coming to you with a major update in the Shanquella Robinson case. Today was Thanksgiving. I've been busy for 2 days cooking and having family over, and I had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you did too. I imagine for Shanquella Robinson's family, it was a very mixed emotion day because today was their first holiday without her, and that's tough. I've been there. I know that. But also, the good news for them was that Mexican authorities have issued an arrest warrant for Daejhanae Jackson, the woman who attacked Shanquella Robinson. So the Mexican authorities in Big Sur, California, Big Sur, a Mexican state, have confirmed that they have issued an arrest warrant for Daejhanae Jackson's arrest. U.S. officials are working with them to extradite her back to Mexico. The other news is that Winter Donovan, the other woman who was present in the villa, the one who called the ambulance and called the doctor, gave an interview to a press outlet, and she stated in that interview that Daejhanae and Shanquella had been in an argument over something that Shanquella had done when they were drinking and when she was intoxicated. So basically blaming Shanquella for the attack. So not only are they not being arrested, they're blaming Shanquella for the attack. And she said, when me and my girl get in a fight, we just going to fight it out. That's just how it works. We just going to fight it out. Okay, that's barbaric. I don't know anybody else who does that. And I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I don't believe that everybody just goes around fighting out their problems. This is a civilized society, okay? And in that process, you killed somebody. Also, perhaps the worst thing of all that I saw today was that Shanquella's best friend who was there on the trip, a male who was her best friend, filmed her passed out in a hammock and said, "We got our first dead body though. She out." Well, wasn't that prophetic? Maybe if you'd stepped in, she wouldn't have been dead. We're finally getting a little bit of justice for Shanquella, but it's only a start. A little more information on the Shanquella Robinson case from a legal perspective. As you know, Mexico has issued an arrest warrant for someone who has not been named. Daejhanae, we know it's you. And now they are seeking extradition from the United States back to Mexico. The United States and Mexico have had a long-standing treaty regarding extradition. So the Mexican authorities have now gotten that arrest warrant and sent it probably to our State Department here in the U.S. And the U.S. now has to decide whether to extradite a United States citizen back to Mexico for prosecution. Why would it even be a question as to whether to extradite this unnamed person, Daejhanae, we know it's you, back to Mexico? Well, there's a good reason for that. This federal statute gives the United States government, the federal government, the power to prosecute an American citizen for the murder of another American citizen on foreign soil, like the person who is not named in the arrest warrant from Mexico. Daejhanae, we know it's you. So
I know where this woman was going, but let me explain something to you. The United States government, as we've seen most recently with Brittany Griner, they're not going to step in for a black body or a black soul, whether you're the victim or the perceived or actual perpetrator. As I stated before when I interrupted at the end of the video, they've already said that they could extradite them. And I cannot stress this enough. Check the link in the bio. If you don't read anything else, read my blog on Faux Friends. For those of y'all that are shocked that this happened to Miss Shanquella Robinson, you shouldn't be if you've been on social media, if you've been in social circles. People literally seek you out to bring you down. There are videos circulating of her best friend. As she said, "Oh, I love you," and hyping him up. He's like, "Oh, she always gets the bag. Put me on the payroll." And trust me, I've been that friend, and I've had to cut off friendships because I realized they're just looking for my bag. And any way that they think that they can take over the bag, or they feel that I'm connected closely to somebody, they want to eliminate me to have a step up. Trust and believe. There's a social media platform that I am watching people who thought that I was so in the mix. And no matter how many times I told people I'm not in that mix, they still wanted to run my name in the ground, dox me, put me in harm's way, deplete, excuse me, my mental health, to do everything to take me off this mortal plane because they thought that the position that they thought I had would be profitable. And I'm cackling as I'm watching them beg for scraps. And unfortunately, Shanquella Robinson lost her life because somebody thought, because they were window shopping and infantilizing her life. Y'all not ready for that conversation. Y'all definitively not ready for that conversation because I've seen the conversations come up online. Because a lot of y'all that are like, "Oh, justice for Shanquella," are those friends that ended her life. You think somebody got it so going on. You think that you're in so much competition with somebody. But you don't realize what that person is going through to have a little bit of happiness when they're hanging out with you. Hell, I've had family members come to me and tell me I'm living a luxurious life. And we shared the same damn address. Baby, how luxurious can it be if we're sharing the same fucking address? But they did also steal everything from me, so. But another trigger warning. We got some updates and some information regarding the Q nightclub shooter. This is going to be a long night, y'all. Let's go.
Now, before we roll a clip, I want to start with be fucking for real. Be so fucking for real right now. Roll a clip.
I mourned his loss. He says his ex-wife had called him from Colorado in 2016 to tell him their son, Nicholas Brink, had changed his name to Anderson Aldrich and then killed himself. Do you have any idea why he changed his name? Yes. His mother told me to change his name because I was on intervention and I've been a porno actor. You heard correctly. At the time, Brink...
Now, if you watched my shows last week, you saw the blogs that I put out, and I linked to the actual information. If you haven't, blog is linked into my bio. Blog is called Camp Taz. He didn't change his name because of his father. He changed his name because he was being cyberbullied. And the cyberbullying was insinuating that he was gay himself. And if you have followed me, even just this week and last week, you saw the other clips that I put up of his father, where his father was like, "Oh, good, he's not homosexual. I told him being violent was the way to go." I'm paraphrasing, but you get what I'm saying. So we're not going to keep switching up narratives. He didn't change his name to distance himself from his father. The initial petition to the court, and we already know from information that I put out last week, as I always do, his mother has a long history of weaponizing father versus son, even though she holds the same beliefs that the father does. The father upholds his baby mama's father, who is a Republican, an uber QAnon conspiracy theorist, assemblyman in that jurisdiction, to high regard. All of them share the same beliefs. So you have an attention-seeking, narcissistic mother, a homophobic, transphobic, porn star, drug-addicted father who subscribes to toxic masculinity. Let's go on to the next video regarding this.
You want to know why I call BS on Aldrich claiming that he's non-binary? On Tuesday is when Aldrich's defense team filed motions that he was non-binary and refers to him as they, them. But this was his preliminary hearing on Wednesday.
Good morning, Joseph Archambault, Michael Bowman, Office of the Colorado State Public Defender, on behalf of the defendant.
Good morning. Could the defendant please state his name?
And if you remember, last week I told y'all you can see the full video of his hearing on my TikTok page. Links are in the bio. All of my information is very public and very linked. I tell you all across all platforms that I sprinkle things across platforms, things that take a little bit longer to explain. I tend to explain it over here or on Instagram, sometimes on Facebook, but normally not on Facebook because I feel like that's just an echo chamber. But that's just me. You don't get to become incarcerated and then have an epiphany that, oh, I'm non-binary. That's why I did this. Ask any member of the LGBTQIA plus community. Well, the plus, SJ LGBTQIA plus PDO community, and it does not include pedophilia. Don't even get into that. What their coming out story entailed. It didn't entail violence. It didn't entail self-hatred. Just like with Kyle Rittenhouse, they're trying to excuse me, make a martyr out of him and change the narrative. And just like Kyle Rittenhouse is learning right now, you were a pawn. Nobody actually backed you. Nobody actually believed you. That's why now that the civil lawsuits are coming up, you can't crowdsource to save shit. You couldn't crowdsource to get a Reese cup. But, you know, it is what it is. But from also the Republican camp, they are so up in arms over the Biden wedding at the White House, which was not the first wedding at the White House that was held on the grounds that is consistently deemed the private personal grounds. But let's see what they're talking about. This is going to be a long one. Turn up the volume. Go get a drink and a snack. Let's go.
So the Biden administration is experiencing a new scandal, and it's truly one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. As you folks probably know, Naomi Biden, President Biden's daughter, had her wedding at the White House. And President Biden and his administration told the media that they were not allowed to come because, obviously, it's a private family event. However, the administration did invite the magazine Vogue to cover the event, and the media and the Republicans are outraged over this because they weren't invited. It's like, really? Is this what we're mad about today? The media does not need access to every single event that President Biden is at, especially a private family one. If they want to invite Vogue, they can invite Vogue. That's the nature of private family events.
I know this didn't get a whole lot of press, but can we please talk about Naomi Biden and Peter Neal's White House wedding, because it is beautiful. First off, right off the bat, I want to say that this White House wedding was definitely giving royal wedding vibes. Before you all kill me in the comments, I'm talking about aesthetically, okay? We are nowhere near the pomp and circumstance of royal state weddings, but aesthetically, this is what it's giving me. The White House is the closest thing that we have to a castle, and it is regarded as the people's house. I absolutely loved Naomi's dress. It was designed by American designer Ralph Lauren. And obviously, he took inspiration from American actress turned real princess of Monaco, Grace Kelly. Don't get me wrong, Naomi looks absolutely stunning in this dress, but the thing that is really selling me is the veil. I love a good old-fashioned cathedral-style wedding veil. This veil, on top of the ambiance of a perfect Washington, D.C. day, she could not have asked for a better wedding picture. That wasn't until I saw this gorgeous balcony picture of Peter and Naomi with the veil blowing in the wind. If I don't have a veil that gives as much, if not more, pomp and circumstance as it did in that picture, I don't want it. I'm not getting married. Call the wedding off. But the thing that I appreciated the most from this Vogue photo shoot was learning that Dr. Jill Biden is a secret baddie. I love that the dress is showing a little leg, that it's sparkly, but it's still modern and yet classy and elegant at the same time. And I really do feel like this green chartreuse is Dr. Jill's color, and I want to see her in it more. All I can say is that Naomi was a beautiful bride, and Joe Biden, you did a good job. Who are the parents? Because Wiki said that that's his daughter. I'm confused. So this is in response to my Naomi Biden wedding video. If you guys haven't watched it, you all can click on the comment and go watch it. But it is a little bit confusing because there are two Naomi Bidens. If you were not aware, Dr. Jill Biden is President Joe Biden's second wife. Joe Biden's first wife was Nayela Hunter Biden, and together they had 3 children. Joe Biden III, aka Beau Biden, Robert Hunter Biden, who goes by Hunter, and Naomi Christina Biden, who was nicknamed Amy. In 1972, Nayela and the children got into a car crash that ultimately killed Nayela and Amy. We are talking about Naomi King Biden Neal, who is the eldest grandchild of Joe Biden and his first wife, Nayela Hunter Biden, and the eldest child of Hunter's children. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure she was named after her late aunt, aka Hunter's little sister, Naomi Christina. So yes, Naomi Biden Neal, the one who just got married, is the eldest grandchild of Joe Biden, and she and her now husband have actually been living in the White House since August of 2021 and have accompanied President Biden and Dr. Jill on multiple state occasions. I hope that answers your question.
Republicans are now criticizing President Biden's granddaughter for getting married. This Republican said Biden's granddaughter is 3 years older than her husband. This is the America they want. I genuinely do not understand the argument that's being made here. Like, do Republicans really believe that Naomi Biden being 3 years older than her husband is an issue? This just makes no sense, but to answer your question, yeah, that's the America we want, where 2 adults who love each other can get married. I don't think that's a controversial take.
So the party that keeps trying to lower the age of consent and the age that you can get married without your parents' consent is worried about 2 fully grown individuals where the woman happens to be older than the man, but they have no problem anytime that the man is older than the woman. Y'all heard those Lee Tucker Carlson tapes, right? Right? Y'all know about the Duggars, right? Right? Y'all know about Matt Gaetz, right? Right? So we didn't care about previous weddings at the White House. This one was a bad thing because we as Republicans weren't able to party with somebody that we talk shit about. We don't invite you to our parties, but we're supposed to be entitled to everything else. Doesn't that sound very slave masters of? From one slave master to the next. Let's see why Queen Camilla is trending.
Here's why the Queen Consort Camilla is trending right now.
Lady Phoenix.
Here's why the Queen Consort Camilla is trending right now.
So you can't touch black skin. And if you happen to touch black skin, you must hold your hand out so it can be sanitized. But Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were wrong for what they said. Do y'all now get what their issue is with Meghan Markle? Do you now get why it took to the 1990s for us to know that Queen Colonizer II had black blood in her ancestry? It's not like Harry married Meghan's mama. Because I could get into that, but that's what we're not about to do. So, over the weekend, it broke that the duo of GOP Sambos came together. Let's see what they had to say, and let's see if you guessed who the GOP Sambos were. Because Sambo, have you heard?
Okay, I want you to see this interview between arguably two of the most educated men in the Republican/Trumplican party, at least on paper.
What do you see as some of the biggest problems going on in our country today? I think some of
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Two things, though. Check out the glasses. Check out Herschel's glasses. Number two, remember the question that Ben Carson asked. What do you see as the most important issue facing Americans today? Remember that, okay? I'm sorry to interrupt.
I think some of the biggest problems going on in our country today, we have so many celebrities telling people that they can't do it. Telling a lot of people, you can't do it. Like, you got to feel bad for yourself, feel sorry for yourself, which is sad to me because when they made it, they've done it, but they're telling you can't do it. And it's like, God, you did it. Why they can't do it?
I think a lot of the biggest problems in our society today is celebrities telling people that they...
What? You know what I just realized is that his mouth is like a ventriloquist dummy. He only moves this. Next thing, what celebrities are telling people that they can't do it? Took Ben Carson's glasses. Doesn't it look like Ben should be wearing them? Did he wear them to look intelligent? Both of us are two of the most educated men there is. So he went and got the thickest telescopic lenses he could just to prove. Just look, he looks like Chicken Hawk.
actually been, a lot of people ask me, what do you see as the biggest problem today in America? And first of all, like a lot of Democrats with these glasses on, I cannot see. And so a lot of people tell you that you can't do stuff, and it's because you can't see. Celebrities do not think that you are intelligent unless you have glasses like this on. And that is a big problem in America.
Isn't it ironic, don't you think, that the party that tells people that are dubbed celebrities to shut up and dribble, shut up and act, shut up and sing, that you have no point here until they agree with them? And they're the most educated. The state of the GOP right now, they might be. And if you think I'm joking, take a look what a Trump lawyer had to say.
So Donald Trump's lawyer went on TV and gave a really weird rant. She started off by saying it's unconstitutional to argue about politics at Thanksgiving, and then she said this country never used to be this divided, and the best way to bring the country together again is to drop all these legal cases and investigations against Trump. So first of all, what? Second of all, if you're a lawyer and your best legal argument is, oh, we should drop all of these cases to make everybody happy again, then maybe you should find a new profession. To me, it doesn't seem like they have a defense for him.
Trump has never had the popular vote. So how would dropping cases against Trump finally, because you can't say reunify, how would that finally unify the country? I'll wait. How does it unify the country? A man that has consistently engaged in white supremacist tropes, ideologies, etc., and business practices. How is that supposed to? And over the holiday weekend, you're not supposed to talk to your problematic family members about why they're problematic? Baby, listen, I talk to them all year round. And when it comes to the holidays, I don't show up because I'm not going to sit around the bullshit. When it comes to their birthdays, I don't wish them a happy birthday. I ain't there. I I stand by what I stand by. And like I keep joking with y'all that I say at this point, I feel like my family is supplying the LGBTQIA plus community, and the motherfuckers that'll come out and say that they're anti this, anti that, but will still break bread with their niece, their nephew, their cousin, their brother, their sister. That's gay as hell. That's queer as hell. Anywho, this is another one of those that y'all need to turn the volume up. Go get you whatever your comfort drink is, some lemonade, some sweet tea, some hot tea, whatever, and get you a snack. I done already got my snack. This is going to be a series of videos because y'all know Balenciaga done fucked up this weekend. And y'all know we're going to talk about it. But it is quite a series of videos. So let's start from the top to the bottom. Here we go.
World-renowned photographer Misan Herman recently spoke out regarding the Balenciaga controversy, and I really think you should listen to what he has to say.
So I've had a lot of messages saying you need to see what's going on with Balenciaga. I have, and as a photographer that's worked with many brands in the fashion industry, I'm utterly horrified, and I'm angry. I know how many steps you go through as a photographer to get the client to approve images. I know how many adult eyes have to look at images for them to be printed, especially for a retail campaign where you're selling the product online. This gift shop shoot by Balenciaga is abhorrent. And those babies, those children who were not protected, I don't know where the parents were, but I do know that those children were not protected. so you could sell your products. The fashion industry needs to do something about this. The owner of Balenciaga, carrying all the way up to the CEO, to the owner, Francois Pinault, need to do something about this. The idea that any products for children are being sold now on the website of Balenciaga is an affront to those children that were not protected. This is unacceptable, and I don't care if I never shoot for anyone in this industry again. Children we're talking about. To my friends that have any contacts in the fashion industry, do the right thing and speak to the people that can do something about this. An Instagram apology and yes, we're investigating is not enough. This is an alarm for the industry. Where are we going? Where our most precious are being used for what? At what cost? No. Unacceptable.
Balenciaga has not only wiped their Instagram clean, but they've also gone private. Before we get into celebrities who are also wiping themselves clean of Balenciaga, I first want to discuss my video from yesterday where I used the word conspiracy. I meant conspiracy lightly, however, it was the wrong choice of word. It is not a conspiracy that several photographers, several head executives, and a law team approved those images to be released. They need to take accountability for this, and their apologies are pretty weak if you ask me. Kim Kardashian has been covered in Balenciaga all year long. So has the whole Kardashian clan. She has especially been decked out in Adidas and Balenciaga since they parted ways with Kanye. Bella Hadid, who's been modeling for Balenciaga for quite some time, has posted several images of their campaign as of Tuesday and then took them down when this news was released. Recent as this week, these ads featuring Nicole Kidman were also released for one of Balenciaga's new campaigns. Now wondering how long it'll take for Nicole Kidman to back out as one of the faces of Balenciaga.
Balenciaga, I need answers. I was just watching a TikTok where this girl was talking about the Balenciaga website homepage, right? And we're going to get into it. Hold on. So if you go to the Balenciaga website homepage, the first thing you see is a child standing on a bed, fully dressed, whatever, and the bed is full of Balenciaga products, but the child is holding a teddy bear, and this teddy bear is dressed up in BDSM, like fishnets, leather, chains. Why? And if you scroll down the page, like 2 tabs, they're advertising a purse. Cool. Love the purse. It's cute. It's on a desk. The desk is messy. There's some paperwork in there. You zoom in on that paperwork and you can see little tidbits of words like speech coalition and sexual intercourse and something about pornography. So I went ahead and I Googled just speech coalition. And it comes up as the Free Speech Coalition, which is a branch of like the adult industry. Now, mind you, this page shown on the purse advertisement, you have to zoom in really far to see it, okay? But at the top, it does look like a court docket. And upon Googling Speech Coalition and finding the Free Speech Coalition of the adult industry, you'll find the court doc Ashcroft versus Free Speech Coalition. Now, Free Speech Coalition being part of the adult industry, Ashcroft versus Free Speech Coalition was a debate about child pornography and what classifies as child pornography. They were saying that virtual pornography should be fine because it doesn't feature real children. It's just images or ideas suggestive of child pornography. Apparently in the 70s, there was an act called like the Child Pornography Protective Act or something that was like, hey, we need rules because people are weird, right? And this fucking Free Speech Coalition was like, that, you know what? We need rights to these things because if it doesn't feature a real child, no harm, no foul, right? Well, the Free Speech Coalition won. That's a whole nother thing to dig into, but Balenciaga, I need the fucking answers. Why did you feature that court doc on your homepage? You have to dig to see it, but why? And why did you have a child holding a BDSM teddy bear? I need answers, Balenciaga. Products, but the child is holding a teddy bear, and this teddy bear is dressed up in BDSM, like.
You guys tagged me like crazy in this video, and well, for good reason. She is 100% right. Balenciaga, we need some answers. twice on their website, they have a child holding a teddy bear that is dressed in BDSM style attire. Harnesses, garters, collars, you name it. Not only that, but the teddy bear on the homepage has panda eyes. I'll let you Google that one. Oh, but it goes so much deeper. And this girl that I stitched this with originally did some digging. So if you watch her video, she explains how if you scroll down the website a little bit, there's an advertisement for a purse. And the purse is on top of what looks like a bunch of documents and paper. But if you zoom into one of the papers seen here, you see there's some words around sexual intercourse and the end of the name of what is called the Free Speech Coalition. The girl did some digging into the Free Speech Coalition and it brought up the Ashcroft versus Free Speech Coalition, which was all about the Free Speech Coalition claiming that the persecution of is actually a violation to the First Amendment. So this girl's digging stopped there, but I dug just a little bit deeper and actually found the paragraph that this comes from, which actually comes from the Supreme Court versus Williams, which was a whole nother case about. In the versus William case, they were basically saying that the current definitions and terms that constituted pandering of, which is basically promoting it, were too broad and vague. And that this man, the Williams, who had been caught by two undercover agents trying to sell images of his daughter in an inappropriate manner, could not be tied to that definition. And they were using the Ashcroft versus Free Speech Coalition case as part of their defense. So let's circle all that back around to the fact that there is a snippet of this case advertised on the Balenciaga website, and right above it is a child holding a BDSM teddy bear. Coincidental? I really don't think so. Balenciaga's entire 23 campaign is now gone. Their website now shows no mention of the 23 campaign other than their collaboration with Adidas. This is obviously a completely different look than a few days ago. And their Instagram is completely wiped again. If you've missed my other video naming names of the creative director for this campaign and everything, here that is again. You can also go see that video. We still need answers from these people, including the photographers and all of the people that this went through to become a public campaign. I'm going to be super interested to see what they do in the next few days and how they respond or address the fact that they have cleaned out this campaign completely. So as of almost an hour ago, Balenciaga has responded. So this is currently on their Instagram stories. This is part 1. You can pause to read this, but basically they're admitting that those bears should not have been used with the children. Those bears are actually handbags. And then this one is super interesting. This is the second part to it. They are basically saying that they are taking legal action against who was responsible for setting up the set for the picture that included the documents. Who those parties are, I would love to know, and I'm going to do some researching into that to see if I can somehow figure that out. But all images that were pertaining to the children on the beds with the handbags that everybody was so upset about have been completely removed from the website. The photographer removed them from his Instagram and his personal website. So obviously there's still some looking into that needs to be done here, but what do you guys think about this response?
Father to one of the children who modeled for Balenciaga has spoken out. Let's take a look at what he said. The father of a British child model who posed for Balenciaga is defending the campaign, saying his daughter had a fantastic time posing for the photographs. That's not the point. The father, who remains anonymous, said he was present at the shoot, which was an enjoyable day, and insisted the bizarre pictures had been taken totally out of context. Please, sir, tell me how these photos were taken out of context. I'll wait. And so I continued reading the article. No parent would actively encourage the child to take part in something that was pornographic, and I think the publicity surrounding what happened has been blown out of proportion. Now I'm reading this and I'm like, is this man okay? But in the next part, it starts to make sense. The father said the photographer was innocent of any wrongdoing and revealed the models were all children of Balenciaga employees who were at the shoot and had approved the campaign. Are these parents okay? Could we talk about this photo real quick? Let's actually take a zoom in to that section. There are 4 dates written on this wall. December 9, 2021. What happened on that day? On December 9th, 2021, Josh Duggar found guilty in child porn trial. Now, I couldn't make out the years for these 3 dates, but I'm sure if I figured it out, something happened on those days that are related to child porn.
Let's talk the wild Balenciaga conspiracy theory that's going on. And yes, my kitchen is still under construction. On November 21st, June Lapin took to Twitter and said that Balenciaga is exploiting children. She posted the brand's pictures of their most recent campaign, their bondage bag, their bondage teddy bear. These children are holding the teddy bear. I'm not going to show the photos on here. The teddy bears are in harness, clad outfits, and the children are standing there looking kind of gloomy and sad and holding the teddy bears. Nicole Lapin then kind of strengthens her claim on this exploitation by linking another campaign that Balenciaga did with Adidas. If you zoom closely to the Balenciaga Adidas campaign, there are documents in the images that are court documents from the United States versus Williams, which is a Supreme Court ruling that upheld the PROTECT Act. Now, this is the federal law that criminalizes advertising, promoting, presenting, or distributing child schmorn, you know what I mean. Shortly after Lapin's claims of all of this, Balenciaga takes down their Twitter page. But they are known for kind of taking down their Twitter page here and there anyways. But then they go ahead and take down their Instagram page as well, and they wipe it clean and add photos of their 2023 spring collection. So on November 22nd, they ended up taking down any and all of the photos. They also turned off comment sections on their Instagram page, and they also released an apology statement. Now their statement's kind of interesting. So first statement that they release is, "We have immediately removed the campaign from all platforms." Hours later, they post again and say, "We are taking legal action against the parties responsible for creating the set and including unimproved items for our Spring 23 campaign." But those images got released, so somebody must have approved them.
Makeup and wardrobe to make sure that you're still conforming to the concept, even down to your poses, your look, etc. After the pictures are done, there's several other people that go over these pictures and go, "Oh, does this fit the original concept that we agreed upon?" But in good old white woman fashion, there are white women coming out on various social media platforms claiming that, "Oh, this isn't sexualized." If you're sexualizing this, you're the one that's in the wrong. This is just punk rock. Be fucking for real. I'm going to cut this where it is tonight. I know, because I've looked at the numbers, y'all don't like when I do pre-recorded shows. So I'm going to do a half-hour show at 8 tomorrow from 8 to 8:30, and then I'll come back with y'all at 9 o'clock to do my regular Talk About It Tuesday. Because there's some other stuff that we need to talk about, but I also know that if I go too long, y'all don't like that either. I do pay attention. But as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. And if you want to know my thoughts on anything else, in about 15 minutes, join me over on TikTok. I'm about to go live, y'all. So yeah.
Most interesting facts you never knew about. Drinking water with a minty mouth is the cold version of spicy. It's always easy to fall asleep on the couch unless you're actually trying to fall asleep on the couch. When you're sick, the advice you get is to literally stay out of school and do drugs. Your eraser dies slowly because of your mistakes. A successful marriage ends with watching the other person die. Cars make such good weapons, you have to learn how to not kill people with them. Your future self is probably talking bad about you right now. Only 1% of people can type wavy water wave with their eyes closed.